is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Can you believe it, man? This motherfucker on the 38 was so close to his first career Winston Cup win, to the point where I was going crazy the whole night. He was running so damn good, to the point where I thought he had the win in his hands, where the roof was about to come off my fucking house for the first time since April 4th, where it almost came off the house back then too for the Spurs Cavs in San Antonio. Between my 6 Winston Cup drivers in NASCAR when they run well occasionally every other week, or the black and silver in the sport of basketball, this shit is stressful as all hell, but hey, I have a lot of fucking fun doing it every single day, every single night, every single week. When it's NASCAR, it's every single week 36 times. When it's the NBA, it's every single day and night 82 times. So the schedule styles for both NASCAR and NBA are totally different, so it all depends on the schedule style in both sports, if you know what I mean.
It's Bristol, baby!
You're damn right. And for the second time in 2 years for a night race, whether it be the Chevrolet Monte Carlo 400 or the Sharpie 500, I missed the very beginning when the green flag flew to go boogity, boogity, boogity because I was cooking dinner. But and history almost repeated itself as you saw tonight with a homeboy winning the race because of it. But let's go over this race, shall we? Outside of Zane Smith. But the nightmarish, round of 16 for Josh Berry was the cherry on top for tonight's running, where the car randomly caught fire during a green flag run in the middle of stage 1. His vision was so fucking bad to the point where he couldn't even get the car in the box. And the stupid rule is, even without no more DVP, if the car's on fire, in order to stay in the race, you have to stay in the car, because if you get out, even if the car can be fixed and there's no body damage to the point where it disables the car, you're out of the race no matter what. Which the fact that it's even a rule is absolutely ludicrous. It's like, you would think you would want to get out of the car to avoid getting yourself burned up, but NASCAR gonna NASCAR, I guess, with their stupid ass rules. But anyway, this was basically the Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe show. Both of these guys dominated the race and led over 100 plus laps, but guess what? Neither of them won, which I'll explain why Ty Gibbs didn't win later. And Alex Bowman, had all 9 lives. It just didn't pay off for him. In an early spin, he recovered. We'll talk more about him a little later because he had position to capitalize on the chaser's misfortune. So, therefore, yeah, I feel bad for him. And what am I saying? Ty Gibbs lost stage 1 in a photo finish to Ryan Blaney. And so, therefore, but it didn't take him long to, you get back to the lead and keep dominating the race that was his to win. He had nothing, basically, he had this race in the bag, basically. And he was dominating, sharing the most laps led with Chase Briscoe. Because back in the Winston Cup days, if you led a singular like Robbie Gordon lap, you got 5 bonus points. If you led the most, you get an additional 5 bonus points. You get 10 bonus points. And SVG and Dale Jarrett's old number, we already knew he was a first round exit from the start. He's a one trick pony, but I still think he's going to win the Roval no matter what. So Gibbs got his redemption by winning stage 2, and in terms of now losing stage 1 the way he did. But he and Briscoe kept dominating the Sharpie 500, as this was one of the best Sharpie 500s I've had we've seen in a long time. I mean, I've seen it a long time, and we've seen it a long time, and leave it to the imposter and Brett Bodine's number to cause a fucking wreck that was totally unnecessary. Chase is lucky he's still moving on to the second round of the chase, and Nemechek is lucky he got a good finish out of it because, I guess Dennis, I guess. That's why Mark Martindale Jr. and Junior Johnson are better drivers to win the Winston Cup Championship, which wannabe Brett Bodine can be fourth in that category too. But Zane Smith had a shot to take the lead. When Briscoe got loose, but then, he washed up himself into Briscoe, and so, therefore, that's why he killed over his momentum. And then wannabe Brett Bodine had karma come bite him in the ass when he lost the tire, picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel. But then it was back to Briscoe and Gibbs dominating. Briscoe was coming in for his last stop, and Ty Gibbs was trying to do what he did, but This is what lost him the race. He missed pit road, and at least he got tubby. And then when Cindric caught fire, this was Bowman's chance to capitalize and knock him out of the chase, and to make him a round of 16 elimination. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Zane here had a shot at the win, but Christopher Bell got into his back bumper, sent him up the track, kind of like what he did with Briscoe on his own earlier, and it killed Zane's momentum and lost him the race. He had to settle for third, and I bet you Bill wouldn't have hit him like that and just let Zane make the corner on his own merit. I'm pretty sure Zane Smith is your 2025 Sharpie 500 winner at Bristol and gets his first career Winston Cup win. And then I want to stay up all night fucking party and drinking all the Coke I want until... Well, no, because I don't want diabetes, so I don't want that. But Brad tried the Bristol dump and run, but it wasn't good enough. It didn't work, and Bill hung onto the car and kept it straight and won. Oh, another walk-off chase win in the Sharpie 500 at Bristol as redemption from last week. So congratulations, C-Bell. And, of course, my friend on the 20 team who used to work on Austin Dillon's team, Darrell Edwards, who's currently on C-Bell's pit crew, and that used to be on the 3 cars pit crew at RCR with Austin. So I hope I get to reunite with you at Phoenix in November, which is a couple months away. That was easily the best Sharpie 500 I've ever seen in a long time. I mean, it was basically 2024 Food City 500 and first Food City 500 back on the concrete part 2 after they got rid of the Easter Bunny 500 dirt race. It was at least in 2022 and 2021 the first dirt race, Bristol dirt race that replaced the dying spring Food City 500 wasn't even on Easter Sunday, and the Fox Cleveland, the 5th station, did not show it. They showed the bitch ass news instead, so therefore I had to go on the Fox Sports app on my computer to watch it and then go back to the TV to watch the Spurs play the Kings in San Antonio, where the Spurs unfortunately lost the game, and it was during the COVID vaccine year when the vaccines came out and made everything safe again, and we didn't even get a true spring here because after my Kirk Schumberty 27th birthday ended in the Michael McDowell's underdog win in the Daytona 500, and the Spurs playing the Hornets during that rain delay of that said race, but until they said drivers to your cars and then they restarted the race and all that stuff, the weather broke in March of 2021 and it was already mid to upper 70s, lower 80s in March and April 2021. It was already automatically summer, so therefore we got summer from March, April, May, June, July, and August. That was a special year with it being the vaccine year, but tangents aside, I mean, this was the best Sharpie 500 we've seen in a long time. I mean, it was basically, 2024 Food City 500 diet light soda version. I mean, the pace someone, one of the crew members, like, was it a spotter or crew chief? I don't fucking know who it was. It was a rando who said it. The USA played it during the outro, like all the different radio communications. Somebody said the pace car led the most fucking laps. Well, it turns out it did because... And let me reiterate you, this race was way better than that Samsung Radio Shack Yellowfest 500 disaster at Texas Motor Speedway, because that one wasn't even interesting. This one was a good Wreckfest race, considering it passed the new season record of how many fucking cautions there are in a race since that said race, the Samsung Radio Shack Yellowfest Disaster 500 at Texas. So I think for next year's running of that race, that's what we're going to call it, the Samsung Radio Shack Yellowfest Disaster 500, because that's what all Texas is now. But I'm not talking about that. That's abomination of a track. That needs to fucking go away. But anyway, I mean, this one was, and what I'm trying to say is in comparison, this was a good Wreckfest race. This was a good Wreckfest race. It was a good racing product. I mean, Goodyear listened to the fans. They made the racing good. It wasn't total Wreckfest stupidity. It was there's a difference between a good Wreckfest race and Wreckfest stupidity, known as Demo Derby stupidity. So this was a good Wreckfest race. The Texas was just Demo Derby stupidity, and the Easter Bunny 500 dirt race in 2023, by the time the dirt concept ran its course, was Demo Derby stupidity. I gotta sit up a little bit. Yeah, so this was a semi-Demo Derby, but no stupidity by any means. I mean, the tire wear was real. It was basically 2024 Food City 500 version 2, with all those tires wearing out every 50 laps and people were pitting every 5-10 minutes. It was a really really interesting, weird. It was a weird but interesting and really exciting, thrilling race with a really fancy top 10. We got like underdogs ruling the night. I mean, it was beautiful. And not only Zane ran well, but I mean, more on him, on this guy on my hat. We'll save him for the end, like the bonus clip at the end of the video. Cause I will include a bonus clip in this video after I do the regular outro. But I mean, for once we had for me personally, this was my first proper Sharpie 500 since 2015, realistically, and technically 2018. So here's what I mean. The last proper Sharpie 500 I could enjoy from personal comfort was in 2008 when I lived in Michigan in the Lenore house. When we were in the twilight of my time in that house. Okay, I got an itch here. Hold on. Okay. Because 2009 was the last full year I was in that house, and my grandparents were in the Sandhurst house, which is known as the house and neighborhood that I built. We were coming up to Ohio from Michigan to visit family for a family reunion on my mom's side, and so we watched the Sharpie 500 at Bristol there. 2010, we were just finishing up the move back to Ohio from Michigan into the Sandhurst house in Brook Park from the Lenore house in Michigan, and so we still had a little bit of stuff left to finish. It was like 95% done, but not 110% done. So therefore, and I ended up finishing. I actually beat Crash Twinsanity on the PS2 for the second year in a row, the same day of the race, hours before the race started. So yeah, 2011 was like Powergate year 2. I mean, I could say that story for another day, but part 2 of a 3-chapter Powergate storyline where a big storm knocked our power out in Brook Park for 3 seasons in a row. I'm not going to get into that story today. That'll be for another video. So therefore, that 2011, I was doing, what am I trying to say? Think, Mark, think. I'm having a fucking stroke and brain fart here. I passed up a family event, to stay in somebody else's house to watch the Sharpie 500, even though it was a shittier TV than the one I had in Sandhurst. Even back in 2011, I was foregoing doing stuff with people just to watch races every week. 2012 and 2013, I was at my grandparents' camper in Medina, Pier Lawn, where my grandparents used to camp out when my grandmother was still healthy and had her being, sick as she was in these last couple years, was not even a thought. So yeah, 2014, I was at extended families, with my dad, the Oliveras, my dad's side, watching the Sharpie 500 at my Titi Nancy's, my only living godparent, my godmother, and my dad's sister, because, we were celebrating my uncle Reggie, my cousin Joshua, which is also my dad's nephew, and my mom, and I think there was somebody else too. I don't fucking remember who it was. It was my mom, Reggie and Joshua, and there was somebody else. Oh, Johnny. Okay, Johnny. Yeah, Dale Roberts, like best friend, but it's more like our family. They're really technically, realistically, they're best friends, but we in Garberg, they're considered our family because they've been there for us since early 2000s. But they really started hitting their heyday, which is still going to this day in the late 2000s. Mid to late 2000s. Yeah, when I finally got to know them better. So yeah, we were doing that in 2014. 2015, the first year we moved here, our move here was already settled. We were already comfortably in this house the first year we were here. And then during OG Sandy Ridge, that was the last Sharpie 500 that I was able to watch in the comfort, though. Realistically, that was the last proper one I watched. 2016 started off as proper, but it didn't end that way. Rain all of a sudden came into the track and gave the track a mini flood, where even the car, the tires, and the chassis underneath the car was under the water. So therefore, they had to push the race to finish it Sunday afternoon. And let me tell you, for it being the Bristol night race, the Sharpie 5AK, the Sharpie 500. It being run in the daytime because Mother Nature being a bitch with their dirty ass tricks, it just wasn't the same at all. I didn't wake up in time for the start, the start of the continuation, so I missed most of the middle part of the race anyway. So therefore, 2017 was Cedar Point when they played "Livin' La Vida Loca" out of nowhere, and Austin and Ty and Austin both had trouble. Which one of the Dylans, I think, knocked the wall down. I think it was Austin knocked the wall down, and Ty had some. I don't fucking remember why Ty DNF, but he and Austin both had trouble. But 2018 was the technical last proper one because my extended family on my mom's side, it surprised us and my grandparents, my mom and I. 2019 with Cedar Point, we somehow came home early enough for the last 20 laps when De Benedetto lost out of his first win. 2020, that was semi-proper, but the butterfly effect of COVID was making me watch some of the races in the later stages of the pandemic in my mom's room next door to my next suite, in my mom's suite, next door to my suite. I'm not going to name any of the races I watched other than the Sharpie 500 during that time. That's a topic for another day, another video. 2021 was set to be the first proper Sharpie 500 for us, and since 2018. But Maddie Hudek's birthday party had entered the chat and said hello. 2022 was the poker tournament at Murphy Homestead with the Polarian Police. We don't count 2023. We don't speak on that. 2024 was the worst Sharpie 500. We were in here watching it. If you remember, I had a sinus ear infection. I brought the computer up here to watch it on NBC Sports app while laying in bed sick while eating and drinking some treats to help me feel better. So we had not had too many proper Sharpie 500 since 2008. And tonight was the first proper one, and one of my homeboys nearly won the damn thing. So therefore, no family reunion. No finishing off a big move. No finishing off a big move. No Powergate incident and going to somebody else's house to watch on shitty TV. No trips to the campground. No, birthday celebration with extended family at one of their house. Their house. No rain delay, no weather issues, no Cedar Point trips. That was twice. No surprise visit from extended family here for comfort of my home. No world crisis butterfly effect. No birthday party, no poker tournament, no sinus ear infection. It all came together for once for the Sharpie 500, the iconic Bristol night race. So therefore, I hope we get to do it again next year when we get to season 6 of Adventures in Autumn. So, what a race tonight. That was really chaotic. Chaotic races are fun as long as it doesn't turn into no stupidity or shitty-ass racing product. So, tomorrow, well, technically later today, the 12-year YouTube anniversary video will be recorded and uploaded as a Q&A. So I do have enough questions, so it's enough to the point where it's small enough amount of questions to the point where I can I can answer every single one of them. So be ready. And then we recorded we recorded Haley's Mike Skinner 4th birthday party at Sean and Jessica's today. As I'm recording this, that will be seen on Monday, technically tomorrow. So therefore, a huge batch of uploads is coming, and I don't know what's to come after that, but I will figure something out. Maybe we'll get some Sandy Ridge content for Adventures in Autumn thrown in there, and then hopefully we'll go see at least one Ridgeville football game of each of the different teams, the varsity, junior varsity, freshman, a non-Ridgeville game for one of my non-Ridgeville friends, and then when Winter Wonderland starts, season 5. The cooking videos return. The basketball games will hopefully return. The broadcast of that, What else do we usually do? And basketball season's coming, so therefore the Spurs game reviews will be back, along with, the debut of the new podcast, Spurs Roundup, which will be the start of, and also Spurs content in general. News update videos will still come and go. We got the Spurs Cavs here in Ohio on December 5th, which will be recorded on the new vlog camera. And also on the vlog camera will be the checkered parts 500 at Phoenix for the championship race, that whole race weekend. Some of it will be recorded on my phone if necessary. So I'll have a lot of equipment to charge everything, and stuff like that. So I can have a full battery and get everything. And so that one will have to be edited on the computers though. So therefore, that one's going to be really, really fun to upload. So we're hopefully going to get some Sandy Ridge content throughout all the rest of Season 5 Ventures in Autumn before the annual Sandy Ridge finale in November. After the checkered, we get back to the checkered Report 500 if we do that in a timely manner. So we have to make sure we're back in a timely manner to the point where we still have one last nice day left in the tank. But if not, then we can always cancel the walk-off plans. And, if there's another nice day after where normally the last nice day is. So, but if we get back in a timely manner, we'll do it. And then if there's another 50-50 and there's one extra last nice day after that, then we'll do the walk-off. And then we'll just, we'll just go from there. And then, we'll go on with our lives as a YouTuber, as content creator, and social media influencer. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night. Get ready for the Q&A video tomorrow, technically later on today. Haley's birthday party on Monday, and whatever stuff I may have for you from the rest of time. So other than those said videos I mentioned, I will see you all for the next video, whenever that may be, after Q&A and after the birthday party one. So therefore, congratulations once again to Christopher Bell on winning the Sharpie 500 with my friend from Austin, my old friend from a member of Austin Dillon's pit crew and the number 3 Richard Jones racing team, Darrell Edwards, who last time I was at the track and in the pits at MIS in August 2022, he was away for the birth of his baby. So therefore, at least now that the baby's born, he and his wife and I have another baby anytime soon, I get to see him in that Phoenix hopefully. And when I go in the pits and the garage with the VIP passes, so we're gonna have all these new passes like never before. Ever since they changed the policy of the pit passes, garage passes, and adding this VIP stuff and stuff. And the way the pit passes work are different than it used to be before. And the way the garage passes work are differently than before. It's all complicated. They like to change guidelines and policies when we don't even know it and not tell us in advance. But that's just the story of business and industry for you. They'll change rules on you. They'll change policies. They'll change guidelines when you don't even know it. I mean, they spring the news on you. All the stuff you used to be able to do, no problem. All of a sudden you can't do. But at least we all know now how this works for NASCAR, at least. So we'll be to follow directions and hopefully prove to NASCAR officials and track security guards that we're trying not to break any rules and try to be as respectful as possible to follow them and abide by them. So I mean, if the weather for next weekend is not here in Ohio, whether both here at home and over at Cedar Point and Sandusky is not looking very good. It looks like it's going to rain all day next Saturday and Sunday. It could change, a 50-50 chance, but you never know. Because right now it's a realistic chance it's going to stay that way. So if it happens to rain all day next Saturday and Sunday, we'll be on my idea. We'll cancel our Cedar Point trip. And then we'll just, watch the Sylvania 300 at New Hampshire all next Sunday, since if it's going to rain all day. So therefore, that's the next race. And as far as the NASCAR content goes, I will see you all for next week's Sylvania 300 at Loudon, New Hampshire, to start the round of 12 in the chase for the Cup in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. And good shit, Zane Smith, take a fucking bow, kind sir. And John Hunter, you are doing amazing too. I'm going to say more about you right now in this bonus clip. More about I'll talk more about you and Texas Terry, Skinner, Senior, Rusty, Park, Sprague. Okay, so cue the next clip of me talking about John Hunter and how amazing he was with Zane, running top 5 and top 10 at the same time as him. So after that, I will catch you all in the next video, that will be tomorrow, technically later on today, and Monday. So see you later, everyone. Cue the next clip. JHN, dude, I don't know what to say between you and Zane. The roof was about to come off my house regardless of which one of you could have won that race. I mean, you were not too far behind Zane running top 5, top 10, and making me go all crazy while my mom and grandfather were asleep. So therefore, every time you came into pit for new tires, my dumb ass kept thinking it was an unscheduled stop and you had a problem. It took you out of contention. But then I was proven wrong when I saw other people pitting like a few laps immediately after you. I'm like, okay, crisis averted. It was a scheduled pit stop and you were back in the top 10, top 15, no problem. Unfortunately, you ended up fading back when the bubble caution came out and never worked your way to the top 10. So you had to settle for 14th, ending the top 10 streak, but it was fun while it lasted. You're only getting better as a driver, and Petty Enterprises as a whole is improving massively. I'm so fucking proud to be a fan of this team, Front Row Motorsports. Richard Childress racing tonight, however, disappointed me. Austin had a problem early on in the race, and then it took him out of contention to, potentially point his way into the round of 12. So, therefore, unfortunately, the 3 car has been eliminated from the chase for the Cup. But the thing that's different with NASCAR compared to most other sports with the playoff, even though NASCAR or racing in general should not have playoffs, period, is that 3 car, that iconic 3 car, still gets to be on the track with every other driver that gets eliminated from the chase for the Cup as the chase goes on with the round of 12, and the round of 8 going into the championship 4 at the checkered Parts 500 at Phoenix when me and my dad go for the championship race. So maybe he'll get his first multi-win season in his, what is now his 11-year Winston Cup career. But knowing how RCR is down in the dumps compared to when Dale was there and then Harvick carried them after Dale was killed, I have my doubts, so I'm not holding my breath. But anyway, as far as NASCAR goes, I will see you guys next week for the Sylvania 300 at Loudon, New Hampshire. And as far as YouTube content in general goes, see you guys tomorrow, technically later on today, for the Q&A video, and Haley's Mike Skinner 4th birthday party on Monday, technically tomorrow. But Jesus Christ, I need to get the fuck off and go knock out that Wingstop and, drink some more Coke. But I gotta go now, so now we can say goodbye for real this time. See you later, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.